Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Abeer's Book Reviews, and today I'll be reviewing this book, When Women Kill by Alia Trabucco Zeran. Now, I've read two other books by Alia Trabucco Zeran, and they have been some of the best books that I've ever read in the fiction category, but this one deviates from the trend a little bit, mostly in the types of stories that are being told. So, from the subtitle, Four Crimes Retold, you can pretty much infer everything you need. It's for four of the most infamous crimes in Chile that were committed by women. And to put it briefly, this book is sort of like Alia Trabucco Zeran going on her own little investigative journey, trying to uncover firstly the actual facts around these cases, because they're so old and the urban legends tend to twist and contort stories. So she does her own investigation about the actual facts of the stories, but also, more importantly, she does this she tries to draw symbolisms and meanings from Chilean society during the period of these murders and what the public perception was around them, what the newspapers were publishing, and what was basically agenda being pushed, so to speak. So, for example, one murder which takes place during the very famous sexual liberation movement of women in Chile, Alia Trabucco Zeran draws on the themes and symbolisms of that time and how the role of women in society was changing and what was the backlash to that and who were the proponents of that, and does a very nice job of drawing relations and connotations about certain newspapers publishing one thing and contorting the story to fit one narrative or the other, and how the court proceeding went, and how were the judges being influenced by the public narrative, or how society was functioning at that time. They're very nice deep dives, like very on the surface deep dives about Chilean society and how even a crime as grotesque as murder is sort of almost justified sometimes by the public and by the newspapers and by the judges. And all of it seems quite alien to people in the modern world who live in pretty much any normal first world or even second world or third world country. But there's a very big difference in culture and perception around murder and perception around women in a lot of countries. So it's a pretty good way to get insight into that. But there isn't a lot of creative writing going on otherwise. So that's one thing which might deter some people. It's pretty much like a very investigative type book. I wouldn't call it investigative journaling because it isn't a deep dive into anything. It's just her going through all the different newspapers and all the different court proceedings and police documents to find out what happened and how people were perceiving this specific crimes. But so that might deter some people. But in the end, because it's such a short read, I would definitely recommend it to people who are interested in maybe crime, mysteries, or anything around that genre of writing, where these are real world things which happened. And if you want to get sort of like a more deeper psychological perspective around not only the killers but the police and the judges and the court of public opinion, then this book could be a very good read for you. Apart from that, I don't think there's much else to say. So that's pretty much it about the book. It's nice. It's a nice read. It definitely doesn't feel boring. That's something Alia Trabucco Zeran does very well, even with the different style of story, which was being told in this book. She does a very good job of keeping it entertained and doing sort of her token writing move, which is weaving in two timelines or two stories simultaneously. So for each story, the one timeline is about the actual murder and the killing, and the other timeline is about Alia's journey into finding these articles and finding these newspapers and finding these court documents and what she inferred from them and how she got in touch with some people around them and how did she perceive them being a modern day woman in Chile. So that does keep the reader entertained throughout the entire book. But that's it about the review. And reviews have not been very frequent lately. That's just been because of a lot of things that I'm trying to work on, trying to build, stuff like that. But hopefully now that I have some more free time and university is starting pretty soon, so hopefully I can find more time to push out these reviews. But if you guys enjoyed this one, make sure you hit the like button. If you're new and haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel to keep receiving more videos like this one. I've been Abeer Rao, and thanks for watching.